You've probably seen the trending vintage baby name signs that are an oval with a scallop border, and inside each scallop has some kind of motif like a floral. If you've ever wondered how to make something like that yourself, I'm going to show you a really easy way to do it in Adobe Illustrator. So first thing, you'll want to open up a new project and then hit L on your keyboard to pull out the ellipse tool. You can also find it over here on the left on your toolbar. Now with your ellipse tool, go ahead and click anywhere on your artboard. And I'm going to work with a 5x6 oval. So I'll hit OK. I'm just going to bring this over here and make a second copy that we'll refer to at the end. So come back over to this oval. This is the one that we're going to work with. We're going to start by creating a scallop reference. This scallop that we're about to make, we're not actually going to use. It's just going to help us reference how big of a circle we should make for our final scallop. And this will make more sense as we go throughout this. But go ahead and select your oval and then find your stroke panel, and we're going to change the weight of our stroke. I typically like to have my scallops be anywhere between 60 and 80. For this one, we're going to select 60, and then we're going to check this dash line box. Your default will probably show 12 points. We're actually going to make this 0, and then we're going to come over to gap. And for gap, I usually start at 10 less than whatever my stroke is. So we'll start with 50 and then hit enter. So now we have our scallop border started for us. There's a few tweaks I want to make. I like my scallop to be centered with these boxes right here because this is showing the center on the top and bottom of my oval. So I'm just going to make a few tweaks. First with my gap, I'm just going to hit my arrow key up until I get the circle of the scallop centered with my oval. Okay, perfect. So I'm at 52. And I have my circle here and here centered with my scallop. I'm also going to make a copy of this and just put it over here to the side and come back to this oval, and we're going to expand it. So we'll go to Object, Expand, and click OK. And then I'm just going to toggle my fill to a stroke so it's a little bit easier to see. We're going to pull our ellipse tool out again. So again, that's L on the keyboard. And we're going to try and make a circle that's about this size. It doesn't need to be perfect. If you hold down Shift while you're making your ellipse, you'll create a perfect circle. We just want to get a general size. And you can zoom in a little bit if you need to. Okay, I think this is a good starting point. We're going to work with this. And then we can take this scallop and just push it off to the side. You can delete it too if you want. We don't need it anymore. We're just going to work with this circle right now. So to keep this really simple, I am just going to add a circle inside of this circle as my motif. I'm not going to take the time to create a floral or anything, but just know that this is the same process if you do want to add a more detailed motif in the circle to create your scallop border. You can totally do that, and this process will still work for that. But just to keep things really simple, I'm going to pull out my ellipse tool and add a smaller circle towards the top of this circle. And I'm going to zoom in for this a little bit. I think I want it to be kind of small. Right now I have it set to cut. I could change this to a fill and grab black for my engrave and have this engrave instead, which I think I might actually do is just have it be an engrave. And the reason I'm putting it towards the top is because as we're creating our scallop for the final oval, we're going to lose this bottom half of the circle. So I want to make sure that my motif is still visible and won't get cut off. Unless that's the look you're going for, then you can totally center it in the circle. But for this particular project, I want it at the top so that it's still visible when this bottom half gets cut off. Okay, now I'm going to select both things. I just want to double check that everything's centered. So with everything selected, I'm going to come up here to my different alignments, and I'm going to select horizontal align center. Okay, it looks like it shifted barely, so it was pretty spot on. I'm going to select those again and group them together. I'm going to zoom back out, and we're going to grab this original oval. Now with this scallop border, we'll want to count how many circles are on this oval because we want to make that many copies of this circle with our motif. And in my case, I have 24 circles, so I want to make 24 copies of this. And now this is the fun part, finally watching your project come to life. So we're going to select all of our circles, and then we'll come over to our toolbar on the left, and we'll grab objects on path. Now, if you don't see this on yours, there's these 3 dots at the bottom. You can click that to edit your toolbar and add it to your toolbar. It should be there. Mine was there by default. So go ahead and click on that. And you'll see your mouse says click on target path. So I'm going to select my oval path, and it will automatically add that shape all around the oval. Super simple. Now, in order to actually use this and finish off our scallop border, we're going to have to unite all of these circles together, but right now we can't do that. In order to get it to a place where we can select the individual circles to unite, we're going to have to expand our object. So right now everything's grouped together and you can't simply ungroup. So what you'll need to do first is make sure everything is selected, then go to Object, Expand, and then make sure the only thing that has a check mark is Object. So uncheck these and click OK. Then you can right click, Ungroup All, and then you'll just want to go through and start selecting all these individual outer circles of our scallop. Okay, looks like I have everything selected, so I'll come over to my Pathfinder and hit Unite. And then I'm going to grab my direct selection tool, which is the white arrow. It's also A on the keyboard. And I'm going to select one of the anchor points of this inner scallop and hit backspace twice to delete it. Right now it's showing that this portion and this portion are going to cut because my cut color is red. If you want that, great. You could turn this into like a frame. I actually think this oval is a little too close to the scallop and I want a little more breathing room. So I'm going to select my scallop, come up to Object, Path, Offset Path, and I'm going to do a negative offset. So right now it's set to negative 0.125. I actually think that's perfect, so I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to grab this scallop here and delete it. So that feels more balanced to me, but again, it's cutting. If I don't want this to have an open hole and cut this big chunk of material out, then you can either change this to engrave or score. Obviously scoring is faster, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do is change it to blue for score. And then I could add, a baby name, or I could add some artwork or another pattern, whatever I want on this portion of my material, and really just have fun with this, basically a template that we've made that we could use for so many different products. So have fun with this, experiment with different motifs. There are just endless possibilities when using the Object on Path tool.